Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we are discussing how I became an au pair in the Netherlands. I'm going to go into a lot of detail. I'm going to tell you guys everything that I do know, so get your notes out and everything like that, and let's get started. Okay, first off, let's address the elephant in the room. I am in bed because I didn't want to get out of bed, but at the same time I'm like, I'm gonna film this video, so I decided to compromise with myself and film the video in bed. Okay, we're doing it. Okay, we're on this. First things first, we're gonna go over what is an au pair. So we're gonna go over the basics to see if this is something that you'd actually be interested in. I'm gonna go off the official definition of an au pair. An au pair is a young person, typically from a foreign country, who lives with a host family and helps take care of the children in exchange for room, board, and an allowance. In addition to that, the au pair may also assist with light household chores. So what is the point of being an au pair? The point of being an au pair is to experience a cultural exchange. So because you are an au pair and you're living with this family, you're essentially taking in their culture, immersing yourself in their culture and sharing your culture with them, right? And then at the same time, you're going to gain international experience and knowledge, and also just like travel. If you're interested in traveling, being an au pair is one of the easiest and cheapest way to travel. So yeah, now let's go over the requirements of being an au pair. First things first, you need to be between the age of 18 to 25 with a matric, good English, and as far as I know, citizens from South Africa, Namibia, USA, Europe, and Australia can apply. The other countries that I did not mention, I'm not too sure about. If you guys can apply, you probably can, but I just don't know about it. I can only speak, honestly, I'm gonna be speaking up for South Africans because I'm a South African and this was my experience as a South African. I wouldn't really be able to help people who are not South African because it gets sticky when it comes to like passports and different countries and things like that. Like, it's hard. So this is for South Africans. Other requirements include 400 hours of childcare experience, and I would recommend that you spread yourself out. If you don't have any childcare experience, you need to go and get it. You need to have childcare experience because first of all, it's going to be the one thing that's going to determine for you, like, do you really want to do this? Like, can you really do this? Because as much as, yes, it's a cultural exchange and you're going to be traveling and learning a new language and seeing new things, it revolves around childcare. Like, you're going to have interactions with children a lot. You need to have experience with kids, okay? It can't be just something that you've just now started doing in a foreign country. Do you get what I mean? So you need to have that childcare experience, first of all, to determine if you like kids. And then secondly, I would recommend that you actually spread it out between different ages so that you can find out which age you prefer, number one, and number two, so that you open up yourself to more options as well when it comes to different families. Like, you may meet a family that you like, but like the kids are like not really like the age range that you are used to. So if you open up your experience and you like experience maybe like infants and toddlers and like teens and preteens, then obviously it's good for you because you can meet a family that has toddlers, you can meet a family that has teenagers, you can meet a family that has infants. Whereas if you only have experience with infants, it's not really a good idea for you to like match with a family that has toddlers because you haven't really dealt with that. Do you see what I mean? So I would say when it comes to your experience, honestly, spread it out between different age groups for those two reasons. And as well, it's important that you do have childcare experience because they do check. Okay, they're going to check. They're going to check if you have legit childcare experience. Who are your references? They're going to ask them questions too. So I had a form that I had to fill out of all the people that I'm using as my reference, and they called them and they had to fill out a form too and give me a rating and things like that. So like, make sure that you give out legit references because like this is important and they do check. Another requirement when it comes to the Netherlands, the driver's license is not as important as riding a bike. Okay, you need to know how to ride a bike. Okay, I thought I knew how to ride a bike. I did my lessons on how to ride a bike. I don't know how to ride a bike. Like, I can ride a bike. I'm not gonna fall off the bike, right? If you've been watching my au pair diaries, I'm falling off the back feet. The back feet is a whole different breed. I can ride a bicycle, okay? I was riding a bike before I literally came here. I can ride a bike, okay? It's the back feet. That's a whole different breed. That's something that you need to learn actually when you get here. But you need to know how to ride a bike because that is the life here. Like, that's literally the life. It's the lifestyle. Biking is a mode of transportation. Like for me, I thought I knew how to ride a bike because I could ride a bike for leisure, for fun, you know, riding a bike on the beach, you know, like fun times. No, here it's a mode of transportation. You need to bike. You're biking on the road, son. You're biking on the road with other cars. You're biking with other cyclists. You're biking against pedestrians. You're biking, yes, son. So it's very important that, like, if you are serious about this, you actually go learn how to bike or practice your biking skills, because I'm not too sure what kind of family that you're going to meet. Because for me, luckily enough, my family is very patient with me and they're very understanding, and so that they're not really like, go bike, like, you know, they're giving me time to like get on it, right? But you may not meet a family that can do that, you know, because as well, like, they're hiring you to help them. That's if they need you to bike the kids to school and things like that. Anyways, thirdly, I would say Afrikaans. Afrikaans is very beneficial. Like for me, I would say honestly, had I focused a bit more on Afrikaans at school, I'd be better at Dutch. My Dutch is, I'd say it's okay for me, because certain things I just don't understand and I don't care, but the important things I actually do hear and I do get. Like I'll pick up on certain words and certain things, but had I maybe focused and locked in on my Afrikaans, I'd be so much better at Dutch. Let me tell you what au pair responsibilities are. You work 30 hours a week. 2 of those days in the week you are off. You are entitled to 1 free weekend per month. You have private room and board. Do light household chores. You can be responsible for fetching the kids from school, taking the kids to school, getting them ready for school, lunches and dinners, and taking them to and from activities as well. You can also be responsible for teaching them English if that's what the family is looking for as well. So those are responsibilities as an au pair. Now we're going to move on to agencies. Agencies that you can use, and agencies that I know of. If anybody else knows any other agencies, please comment them down below. Maybe you can help somebody, but I'm just going off of the agencies that I know and how much they charge. I went with Nina Care. Like I said on my TikTok, Nina Care is free, and that's what I love the most about them. But it needs a lot of patience, and if you don't have a lot of patience, these are the agencies that I'm going to recommend to you. There's also Au Pair World. Au Pair World is also free, but I'm not too sure how Au Pair World works because I didn't use it. You can use OVC. OVC charges 12,450 in total to become an au pair here. You can use House of Orange. House of Orange charges 7,600 to become an au pair here. You can use World Voyage. World Voyage charges 9,500 to become an au pair here. You can use Bianca's Au Pairs. Bianca's Au Pairs charges 11,100 Rand to become an au pair here. Those are all the agencies that I know. I know a bunch of girls that have gone using these agencies, so I know that they are legit. You can pick for yourself, you know what I mean? Cheaper is not always better. That's the truth, but at the same time, I don't think you should spend this much money when you can go with an agency for free. Like, I don't think it's wise, because as well, as much as yes, you don't spend any money on the agency, you spend money on your documents. Like, that's when you really start spending money, and I'm gonna get into that just now. Now let's get into Nina Care and my experience with them. You just go on the site, Nina Care. It's free to register. Go on there, create a profile. It's pretty self-explanatory what you get on there, because you fill out your details, you put your pictures on there. I think I'll make a whole separate video on like what your profile should look like. Let me know if you guys are interested in that, and I will make a video on that. You create a profile and introduction video. If you watched like my moving vlog, you'll see that I already explained a little bit of this on there. I'll link it in case anybody's interested. You put in your references. Like I said, the references, they do check them, and at that point you literally just wait for families to speak to you and meet you and things like that. It's very, very straightforward. So then let's get to documents. You need police clearance. This is something that you can get at Postnet. I would recommend that you go do it at Postnet, because you can do it for free at the South African Police Service, but police clearance, I still have not gotten it back to this day. To this day, I did a police clearance in 2022. It is 2024. I still have not gotten that back. So I would honestly say, don't waste your time. Go to Postnet. It'll take about 2 to 3 days. Pay 300 Rand. and they email you back your results. Like you go there, you do it, it's really quick. They put your like your thumbs and your fingerprints, and they take a picture of you and do it, and then they email you back your results. Really fast, quick and easy. I would recommend it. It's very reliable. Then you need a letter of non-impediment. This is a letter that you get at Home Affairs. You can also apply for this at a private company, but Sana, they are charging you 4.8 for a document that you can get for free as a government. But I mean, like, if they are like not giving you your stuff, honestly, I would say, yeah, pay the private company, because Home Affairs likes to do that. If you watched my story, you know what my story was with my unabridged birth certificate. You'll see how dirty they did me. So for me, honestly, had I known about this company, I would have just paid it. Like, I would have saved myself those endless trips, the headache, the stress, like all this. I would have just paid that money. Seriously, I would have just paid it. But anyways, letter of non-impediment, you get that at Home Affairs. You need to apply for it, and then it takes a couple of weeks to get back to you. For me, it took about 6 weeks to get back to me. They do say 4 to 8 weeks though on the like site officially. But guess you know these things. You know Home Affairs. You know them. You do know them. So I'd say apply ASAP. Okay. Then unabridged birth certificate. As soon as from time when you're watching this video and you've decided that you want to be an au pair in the Netherlands, you better go wake up and go to Home Affairs and apply for an unabridged birth certificate. Like, you think I'm joking? I'm not. Yeah, but most of the say did go to au pair in Europe actually, because even for Germany you need it, Switzerland you need it. These European countries, they are very strict about the unabridged birth certificate. From time that you've decided that you want to be an au pair in Europe, wake up next morning, go to Home Affairs, apply for unabridged birth certificate, because let me tell you something, you never know when you're gonna get it back. Okay, you never know when you get it, so just apply as soon as possible. You can also apply for a private company. 4.8. Then you do a doctor's check. If you have like a doctor that you go to, just go there, give them a form, they check you out a little bit, ask you a couple questions, put a stamp on your stuff, and then you're free to go. And then you another document that you need is your matric certificate, and then you need a passport. Please tell me, if you're serious about leaving the country, you've already applied for a passport. You actually should have it in your hand if you're serious about leaving the country. Okay, I'm tired of people questioning me about how to leave the country. They don't even have a passport. How do you think it's gonna happen, darling? How do you think you're gonna leave the country? You don't even have a passport? Get serious, okay? So you need to have a passport. I should have actually said that first. I forgot. Sorry about that. Then you need to go do a TB test. I don't know if you'll be able to do this at your doctor. I was able to do it at separate places because my doctor didn't have like the equipment to do my TB test and the HIV test and things like that. So now I'm gonna get into the finance part of like how much I spent to become an au pair here. On my police clearance, I spent 300 Rand. Remember I told you that you need to do that at Postnet. 300 Rand, go to Postnet, okay? Unabridged birth certificate. I don't even remember. I don't think it was more than 300 Rand. It should be less than that. I just applied for my unabridged birth certificate, like I think maybe like 3 times. Yeah, because at one point I had 3 receipts of payments. And I was about to pay for it for the 4th time and they were like, no. Like, we at this point, no. Like, we need to do something about your certificate. Yeah, unabridged birth certificate, I'd say budget 200 Rand. That's what I would say, okay? Letter of non-impediment, again, say budget 100 Rand for letter of non-impediment. This light, okay, really pissed me off. It's like flickering. I'm sorry if this affects anybody, but I'm just gonna continue to film because we're almost done. Then when it comes to like once you've gotten your letter of non-impediment and your unabridged birth certificate, you're going to need to go get that apostilled. I did at attorneys in Durban. You can literally just Google notaries near me and you can go there and tell them you need it apostilled. For me, notarizing my letter of non-impediment cost me 1.5, and then again I had to notarize my unabridged birth certificate once I received it, again another 1.5, and then I had to send that to Derco, and I did that through a private company. You can send your stuff to Derco for free. It's just that Derco takes a lot of time. It takes 6 to 8 weeks to get it back to you. That's what I read on the site. So I did not have that amount of time to waste and to wait because my stuff was already delayed. So I paid a private company to do it, and I paid 3.5 Ooh, not me breaking my pen. But I paid the 3.5. How now I can't open the pen? Oh, I can. Okay, anyways. So then I paid 3.5 to send my stuff over to Derco. Then doctor's check. Doctor's check, because I didn't have an actual doctor. I had to just go see a GP. He charged me 1,000 rand. Then TB test. I could not do a TB test. I just opted to do an x-ray of my chest. Got charged 800 rand for that. Then I did my HIV test at a clinic for free, so I did not pay for that. Then I would recommend that you carry pocket money with you of 2,500 rand at least, just so that you can have some money, dude, before you get paid. You know, like inyanga yinde and Gabby is in Dolana, and you just want to like have some money for yourself in case you need something. Do you get what I mean? Like, you never want to go into a new country without any money at all. So I would say 2.5 in the least. Okay, but obviously, like, this is very optional. It's up to you. You can decide how much you're able to afford or how much you want to bring. If you want to bring over that amount of money, great, good for you, darling. Then when it comes to your plane ticket, this is something that you and your host family agree upon. As far as they say, you guys are supposed to split it in half. So the host family pays half and then you pay half, right? But what I did, because I didn't want to keep spending money, I just told my host family, buy me a one-way ticket, and then when I come back, I'll buy my own ticket, which is also an option. It depends on like your host family. Talk to them about that, and then you guys see what agreement you can come up with. A lot of host families will just say, oh yeah, sure, that makes sense, that's fine. They won't mind, but again, you never know, people are different. But a lot of host families do it that way. They're like, okay, sure, we'll do the one way, and then once you go back, you buy your own ticket back home. So in total, I ended up spending this much money to become an au pair in the Netherlands. And I hope you can see that this is why I don't recommend that you use an agency, because you already spend so much money on organizing your documents. You think you can, over this money, you think you can add agency fees on top of it? Sorry, not an option for me, love. Not doing it. Yeah, I would say choose a free agency. That's what I would say personally, but again, you can do what you want. And yeah, that's the video. I hope this was helpful to you guys. If you have any more questions or things like that, you can comment them below and I'll try and get back to everybody. Hopefully this answers a lot of your questions. If there's anything else that I have not covered, comment it and then I'll get back to you if I know. But yeah, if you are interested in being an au pair, I hope that you find an amazing family that loves and appreciates and welcomes you into their home. And I hope this was helpful. If it was, thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. So, bye.